So she slept with him, or she was just hooking up with him?
She hooked up with him that night.
So what was your reaction? That's what I want to know.
My
So
reaction was like, holy shit. She ended up saying that she was pregnant by him to get him to stay.
okay, so during the last podcast, you discussed your best friend and what happened between you guys. Can you elaborate more on that?
Basically, storytelling is not like my strong suit. Basically, I had like a best friend. We go to school together, like sleep over each other's houses, go to school together, like match outfits all the time, do everything together. And I was dating this guy. It just so happens me and my friend on that prom, we wanted to match dresses. So we were wearing the same dress, different colors. And then that guy I was dating, he asked me to prom. So of course we're matching like the like the corsage, and, like the dress.
Yeah, yeah. Prom is high school, right?
Yeah, it's like a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
So we're at prom, right? I go to prom with the guy, and then I'm with my friend at the after party. So the guy's like a little older than me, so he has like a different friend group from me.
How much older was
So
he, and how old
just
were
like
you?
a year.
Oh,
But
okay.
like we go to two separate parties.
I see.
Because I go with my class, he goes with his senior class, obviously. The friend that I'm hanging out with, she's like a silly kind of girl. Like she's funny and she's like goofy. She likes to make jokes. So she goes like, "Oh, I have to go downstairs by the staircase because I have to fart." But we didn't think it was weird because she's like goofy like that. Like
Right.
she's weird, right? So like, okay, like she's so silly, like let her go. And then like I think like 10 minutes passed by and we're like, "Oh, where is she? She's not here." And then like 30 minutes passed by and then an hour we're like texting her like, "Where are you? Are you okay? Like what the heck?" Like calling her and like worried about her safety, right? Because she's obviously not by the staircase. And then she comes back and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I was hanging out with the guy she was talking to because she was also talking to someone." And we're like, "Okay, didn't think anything of it." And we sleep at the party. She drops me off at home after, like her mom picks us up from the party.
She drops off her boyfriend. Oh, well, the guy she's talking to.
The guy she's
Right.
talking to drops her off back at the
Okay,
party.
other way.
And
Vice
then we
versa.
continue like hanging out. So we continue hanging out and then her mom drops me off in the morning and then they go home.
Where
So
was the guy that you were with? Well, your boyfriend at
he
the
was
time.
hanging out with his friends
At the
at
other
the
party.
party, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, continue.
The next day at school, I don't know if it was like a Saturday the prom was or a Sunday. The next day at school, our mutual friend comes up to me in class and she's like, "Oh, can you go outside of the classroom?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, why?" And she's like, "Oh, your bestie wants to tell you something." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's weird." And then I see my best friend like outside and she's like crying and I was like, of course my first reaction is like, "Oh my God, are you okay?
Right.
Like, why are you crying? What's wrong?" And then she tells me that she hooked up with that guy. And I was like, "What?" I
That
was like,
guy
"That's
being.
crazy." The one I was dating. Yeah.
Wow.
And at that time, I didn't know the timeline, so I didn't even realize it was on prom night. So she lied to me and she told me it was some other day. And I was like,
Oh, and
yeah.
that was a staircase incident where she just
Yeah,
disappeared.
yeah. So but I didn't know because she lied about
Right,
when it
right,
was
right, right.
because she knows how bad that sounds,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that sounds
So
bad.
like whatever, I'm like, "Hey, whatever, we're not friends anymore." Like I go back into my classroom and then
Wait, wait. So what was your reaction? That's what I want to know.
my
So
reaction was like, "Holy shit."
this is your best friend.
Yeah, I was like, this is crazy.
Betrayal.
Like betrayal. That was my first, I feel like betrayal. Yeah, type of feeling I've ever had in my life. But now it's like a great story to tell, so I don't mind telling that story because it's such a long time ago, and I feel like it made me who I am today. So
But why do you think that happened? I got you. But why do you think that happened in the first place, though? You
she,
guys ever hung out with like a crew together, or it was you, her, and him?
yeah, actually, that night I think he drove us to the party from prom.
But that's not the first time he met her.
No, because everyone in Kauai, they know each other, especially in
Right, right,
school.
right.
Yeah, everyone knows each other. But actually, now that I think about it, he drove us to the party or something, or he
Right, right.
picked us up. Okay, I think he picked us up to go to his party, and then he dropped us back off at our party. And for some reason, she wanted, so there's like, he had a truck, and he drove standard, right?
Yeah.
And there was only two seats.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, she was like, "Can I sit in the middle?" I was like naive, right? Because it's my best friend. I don't think
Right.
anything of it. She sits in the middle. This is the shift knob, and she sits like this, like her legs are open. But to me, that wasn't like a red flag because I was so naive. I was like,
Right.
"Oh, she's just like," because she was kind of like scandalous too. So I just like
Oh.
thought she was just like being herself or something.
Uh-huh.
But red flag, a red flag. So yeah, that also happened. So that should have been a sign. But
So she slept with him, or she was just hooking up with him?
she hooked up with him that night.
Hooked up meaning just
Yeah.
made out?
No, had
Oh,
sex
slept
with
with
him.
him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what happened to them after? Did they end up like dating or
So
something?
no,
Was she ever flirty with him while you were with her in general? Besides that
um,
car seat thing?
I don't remember. There could have been times, but I feel like I'm pretty like secure, so I don't really
Oh, you don't have
notice
jealousy.
that kind of things. I mean, I get jealous, but like at that point, I was just like in my head in high school, I was like, if someone can like take you from me, I don't want you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still kind of have that mindset.
Really?
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. I'm not gonna fight for someone that doesn't want to fight for me. You know what I mean?
I agree with that actually.
Yeah. So after she told me, I went back in the room, and then my friend was like, well, when did she tell you it was? And I was like, oh, she told me it was like Thursday or whatever, or Sunday or
Right.
something like that. And she was like, no, she did it when after prom, when we were where she was supposed to be by the staircase. That was when she did it. And I was so pissed.
Right.
I don't know, I think I texted the guy, and I was like, don't ever talk to me again. Like,
Oh snap! You never
we're
asked him his
done. And I
side?
blocked him.
You
No.
blocked him. Oh, closed case. Not even
Yeah. Because that was enough for me. I was like, I think he got detention because he flipped a table in his classroom.
that day.
Yeah.
shit.
That's his like karma, right? Detention.
I mean,
But-
the slightest degree.
So I guess he like flipped a table in the classroom, and he flipped a table in the courtyard or something like that. And then he got detention. And then he ended up, never mind. But so actually later on, I ended up forgiving both of them.
No,
Because-
why?
Also naive. When I was in high school too, I just felt like it doesn't make sense to hold on to like
Grudges.
grudges, or like, what is that called? I don't know, just like that energy. You don't need to hold on to that.
It's
better
terrible,
to,
yeah.
like, let it go, to
Yeah.
like forgive.
Mhm.
You don't have to forget, but just like forgive and just be like good. And like I tried to give them another chance. With the friend, it didn't work because I tried to like introduce her into our friend group again, and my other friends were not having it. But they were really good friends, they're having my back. But
Who reached out first?
she reached out.
Oh, as an
When
apology.
she was drunk. And I felt bad. She was like crying, and she was drunk. She was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I miss you. Like, I regret it. I want to make it work. And then I don't know. I was just naive. I didn't really see her the same or like care about her anymore, but I just didn't want her to feel like hated by other people, because I don't think anyone deserves that. And I think like the whole school knew about it too. And like,
Yeah.
I could
You don't
tell
get over
people
that,
were like
yeah.
treating her differently.
Yeah.
Because everyone.
Wow,
knew that.
everybody talks like that.
Everyone talks on Kauai. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I still like, even though she like did me dirty, I still had like love for her, 'cause
Right.
she, so I just didn't want her to feel like
And what about the guy?
the guy. I tried to forgive him too. That didn't work.
Why?
Actually,
Mhm.
she ended up saying that she was pregnant by him to get him to stay, and she had a history of lying and saying that she was pregnant with guys.
Dude, that's a crazy girl.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I knew she was lying, so I texted her. I was like, you guys are gonna have a child. I knew she was lying. I knew she was lying, but like, I was like, you guys are gonna have a child. Like, I can't be with you, like. And he's like, well, I'll still take care of the child, but I still want to be with you. And I was like, what world are we living in right now? Because we're in like high school, and like, this is like too much drama,
But okay, so that kind of thing, especially at your age, you were kind of young. Does that doesn't scar you in terms of like how you think about the next friend?
I
Like you
mean,
don't pay, because I've had that done to me too.
really?
Yeah, and I've paid attention to the next people. I'm like, let's see if this person does the same thing.
I mean, I guess now I know there's always like a chance.
Always a
But I know everyone's different, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold someone else's mistakes against
Accountable.
like future people.
Right.
Yeah, because I've also had really genuine like good girlfriends.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've had bad ones too, but like mostly good.